Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
I bet you've all been watching since the morning with some pride the Prime Minister wearing the cap of a nuclear submarine, saying that India's nuclear triad is now complete and India can no longer be subjected to nuclear blackmail by anybody. Now, I know that many of you are defense nerds, but not everybody is. So, let me try and simplify some of this to you or declutter it for you. What is an SSBN? What is an SSN? How do they differ with each other? What is a nuclear triad? Why does the Prime Minister say, quite correctly, that India's deterrence is now complete and India cannot be subjected to nuclear blackmail? Now, the whole idea of deterrence is, and particularly for India, because India has a no first use policy. This is part of our nuclear doctrine that we will not use nuclear weapons until somebody uses a nuclear weapon on us. Now, suppose your nuclear weapons are all missiles launched from land. Somebody might know where are they located. So, 3, 4, 5 places, you can't have them in 100 places in India. So, somebody can attack you with missiles in those places and cripple your ability to fire back or to carry out a counter punishment if somebody uses nuclear weapons against you. So, how do you cover for it? You then say, all right, but I also have aircraft on which I can carry nuclear weapons. So, land-based missiles, India has the various numbers of the Agni series with various ranges. So, India is very well endowed in that area. For air delivery of missiles and nuclear bombs, you have Mirage 2000, Sukhoi 30 Mark I, and also Jaguars, the newly upgraded Jaguars, which can be used to deliver nuclear weapons at various ranges. So, all right, you use nuclear weapons against me first, you cripple my land-based resources or maybe command and control systems, but my aircraft will come and still get you. What about a much stronger enemy with a strong nuclear arsenal? China has a very strong nuclear arsenal. Pakistan itself has a very large number of nuclear weapons. In fact, they have more nuclear warheads than India does. Suppose somebody rains nuclear warheads on you, knowing that there will be a retaliation which will be unacceptable. So, might as well destroy everything that India has by way of retaliation, so they will not be able to retaliate. That will be nuclear blackmail. So, suppose an adversary were to launch 50, 100, 70 nuclear warheads at you, hoping to cripple your entire ability on land and in the air. Now, you then cover for that by constantly, Americans, the Russians do that. Unlikely that we'll get into that situation, but by keeping your aircraft flying constantly someplace, carrying nuclear weapons. So, even if on the ground your air bases are crippled, they can come and carry out the counter punishment. What happens if they are also shot down? Because on an aircraft going to the other side, you are never sure it will get to the target and will be able to deliver its warload. So, you then put nuclear weapons or missiles inside submarines. Why? Because submarines are the easiest to hide. You can have half dozen or even one nuclear submarine. Nuclear means nuclear powered but carrying nuclear weapons. That is an SSBN, subsurface ballistic nuclear. Ballistic is for the missile. SSN, subsurface nuclear, is a nuclear powered submarine which runs on nuclear power, so it can stay underwater for a long time without having to charge its batteries, but does not carry nuclear weapons. So, what Arihant is an SSBN. It's India's first SSBN. So, these submarines can remain hidden underwater for a long time, and they are very difficult to find because one, they are very silent, and second, because they run on nuclear power, they can go very deep. So, you keep not one, but you keep a few here and there. So, in case everything else gets crippled, these fellows are there to again deliver your retaliatory punishment. That is called the nuclear triad. You now have a nuclear deterrence on the ground, that's your missiles. In the air, that's your fighter planes which carry bombs and missiles, nuclear bombs and missiles. And then you have SSBNs which lie below the deep inside oceans or Arabian Sea or wherever, very difficult to find, but they carry missiles. So Arihant is the first of those. Now, I'll talk to you a little bit longer than usual today. From where does Arihant come suddenly? It hasn't come suddenly. It's a marvelous tribute, not just to India's scientists and India's Navy and defense planners and strategists. It's also a great tribute to India's politics and Indian industry. I will tell you why. The first Prime Minister to launch this project was Indira Gandhi in the mid-70s. It was launched as Advanced Technology Vehicle. Because you were doing a nuclear submarine, you couldn't have called it something like that, so it was called Advanced Technology Vehicle. Then think of what has happened since then. After Indira Gandhi came Morarji Desai, after that came Charan Singh, after Charan Singh came Indira Gandhi back, then Rajiv Gandhi, then VP Singh, then Narasimha Rao, VP Singh, Chandrasekhar, Narasimha Rao. After Narasimha Rao, then you had Mr. Vajpayee, Deve Gowda, Inder Gujral, Manmohan Singh, and Narendra Modi. So this project has been nursed and kept nursed by 12 prime ministers over more than 30 years. And that is what has brought this project to fruition. And you know what? Not one prime minister has leaked even a line about this. 2009, the submarine was formally launched in water by Dr. Manmohan Singh and his wife. Even then, nobody talked about nuclear. So this is a tribute to Indian politics, that the same politicians which fight with each other all the time, who call each other names, and we always fret over the quality of our politics, that we have so much gali galoj in our politics. They hate each other, yet when it comes to issues of really big national interest, they work like this. So the fact that India was able to keep this secret for a long time and continue building this project in spite of sanctions. Remember, India was under crippling technology denial regimes and sanctions for more than 30 years after the nuclear test in 1974. But in spite of that, and many methods have been used to work on this project. There's been a lot of help from the Russians. Many Indian scientists have collaborated. And I'll tell you something else. A key role has been played here. And I say this to you because it's very relevant now, because you have Rafale and all these controversies going on, and HAL versus private companies and this and that. Several of India's private companies have been involved in this project, particularly Walchand Nagar, which is an engineering company. They've done critical development and engineering for this project. They've done a beautiful job. They worked together with the public sector and defense forces and the scientists, and you know what? Nothing has leaked from them as well. So this project also gives you the confidence that if we Indians put our hearts and souls together in the national interest, then in spite of our political differences, in spite of where we come from in terms of which language, which state, which armed force, which discipline of science, and whether we are public sector or private sector, we can work together, we can keep our secrets, we can build a real team, and then the reward of that teamwork is this marvelous beginning of the Indian triad. Now, do you need a triad? Of course you do, because before asking that question, you should ask, do you need nuclear weapons? Once you have nuclear weapons, you don't have nuclear weapons because you want to use them. You have nuclear weapons to make sure that nobody will use nuclear weapons against you. It's a deterrence. Now, for that deterrence to work, you have to have a triad, which means you hit me on the ground, I'll hit you in the air, you hit me in the air also, I'll hit you from underwater, you will not even know where my missile came from. So the new thing that you will hear about in the course of time now is Sagarika. Remember that word, that is the new missile, nuclear missile that's being developed to be used by Arihant. Arihant, which is a 60,000 ton submarine, large one, has carried out its first deterrence patrol. Nobody would tell us where it went. The Prime Minister also didn't tell us, which is a good thing, because the key thing about SSBNs is secrecy. Nobody should know where they are. And also you need more than one. So now that one is done, India is beginning work on more. There will be two more at least. And then let us see where does our triad go and what else happens on our strategic scene. But this is a job very well done, and I think we can take great pride in what's been happening in this sort of secret shipbuilding facility in Vizag, Visakhapatnam, for decades now. Everybody has done a marvelous job. So today, I think we need to stop complaining about anything else and applaud the people, the team of people who've made this great marvel possible.